And Ben's closing his door.
What's up, everyone? Thanks for waiting in the chat.
Yes, it was Ben's fault. He was late. No, I'm kidding. It was my fault. But we are back with Ben Dubard, our regular. So Ben, how you doing? Our regular and a good friend of mine as well. So
that's right. Thanks for having me. It's always good to be here on the Furu Finance show.
It's always good to have you.
Thanks, man.
We got a lot of stuff going on today. This is an action-packed day. We have obviously all the PulseChain porn, which we're gonna go through, guys. We're gonna go through all the hieroglyphics and Richard Hart messages, and we also have a CoinDesk article on Eric Wall tweeting, being the troll, being the designated troll, so to speak. So not a boring day today.
Yeah, exciting stuff. I couldn't sleep, and I saw Richard had posted those new updates in the middle of the night. And I was like, wow. I was on my phone looking at them. So
yeah, I didn't even see them till this morning, to be honest. So it's new to me. Let's take a look.
We'll run through it. I'll explain everything.
Awesome. That's true. We got Metastaying. What's up, guys? Thanks for all the info and insight. Much appreciated. Our pleasure. Furu overslept again. Wow. No, dude, I was up early today. I overslept yesterday and I overslept the day before. And by overslept, I mean 7:15 a.m. Okay. That's right. You guys want to make something of yourself? Wake up at 4 a.m.
Yeah.
Ben wakes up early now too. I get a DM what's up at 5 a.m. just to show me that you're up too.
Yeah, I haven't done that in a while though. Every time I try to wake up early, my sleep schedule just rotates towards staying up all night. But
no, I feel it's
I'm an owl. I'm like a night owl. I just like being up at night for some reason.
So you gotta break it once. So there's gonna be that one night that you end up staying up late and getting 2-3 hours of sleep, but then you're gonna be so tired the next day that you're gonna fall asleep early. So
dude,
it's just one painful day and you're good. Metastaying. I'm sorry.
That doesn't work for me though. I've had 30 painful days where I'm all right, today's the day I'm going to get no sleep, or I'll just stay up and I'll be let me stay up all day today. And then I'll just go to bed early that one night. And then, So it doesn't work doing that.
Yeah. And you thought wait, it doesn't work? What do you mean? You go to bed early and then you wake up early?
No, I mean, it just doesn't work. I won't be able to go to bed or yeah, I don't know.
No, you stay up late. You end up staying up late and waking up 2 hours later.
Yeah, I've done that. I've even done it where I didn't even go to bed. I just stayed up all through the next day to try and get back on a normal schedule.
And then you couldn't wake up. You couldn't fall asleep early the next day.
I'll be on maybe for a day or two, and then it'll just revert back, or I won't be able to go to bed early the next day or something.
You know what it sounds like to me? Sounds like you don't want it enough. That's what it sounds like.
Probably.
If you want it, you'll make it happen. But if you just did it for a little bit and you'll understand and you realize how much you get done, you'll want it. So
yeah.
Metastaying says 3 a.m. for 15 years, truck driver. Yeah, nice. What about that's incredible. That doesn't even make sense. Yeah. There's some nights I fell asleep at 3 a.m. This guy's getting out of bed. Wait, so what time are you going to bed? And Bedini Beats also 3 a.m. He has insomnia, though. Wow. Okay. Metastaying, what time you go to bed? Just, all you need is a little bit of cocaine. No, I'm kidding. And we got the Bitcoin chart. This is some serious TA over here. I called yesterday. I said, look, it's looking like a bull flag, and we have a target up here. And then I'm like, oh, but look, there's a bearish divergence, right? Massive bearish divergence. Higher high, lower high on the RSI, and then lower high, higher high on the chart. And I take the target and I brought it back down here. And look at that. We have a dump. So what's your thoughts on that technical analysis right there?
Very well done, sir. I think you called it spot on. We should be paying you for this alpha right here.
That's right. You guys should be paying me. Okay. You think we're going to hit this target over here of 21,000?
I would hope that we'd go higher first and then hit 21,000. That's my hope. Maybe to fake people out or to like make people get FOMO and then dump and then they're like, oh.
So I think I said we're going to 27, but does that mean we can't pull back to 21 and then go back up to 27? But you know when I'll be wrong? Confirmation of me being wrong is if we go down here. If like you pull back to 18 and then go to 27, that doesn't count.
Okay.
But if I'm wrong, then you'll never know because I'm cutting it out of the video. No, I'm kidding. But that's the way I'm seeing it. And then if we break this, we're gonna head back into that channel and just go sideways. And then if we go down and break this, then we're gonna go to 11K. Is that fair?
Sure. Yeah, that'd be cool too. If we went ahead and hit 11K and got the real bottom, that'd be pretty glorious.
Yeah, true. You know, a friend of mine, I showed him the chart and he's like, wow, you really look like you know what you're doing. I'm like, I have no idea what I'm doing. In fact, nobody knows what they're doing when it comes to technical analysis. But the thing is, some people are better at looking like they know what they're doing than others, and I guess I'm okay at looking like I know what I'm doing.
It's the collared shirt, has to be.
Yeah, it's the collared shirt. That's really what it is. and the bookcase. These are all TA books.
These are my Harvard classic collection.
Yeah. You guys don't think I'm doing the research? And here's another interesting thing. Was what's it called? So like the point that they gave for resistance originally. So they said that this was if we break above here, right? Then we're gonna head, we're gonna have some serious price action if we break above here, and we did. But now we're at here, and you could say this. You could say, look, this is really what the resistance was, right? Mm-hmm. You see that? That kind of looks like what this was.
Yeah, true.
It's just ever changing. You know what technical analysis is? It's like that cartoon where they shoot the arrow at the tree and then they paint the bullseye around it.
Dude, oh my god, yeah. That is pretty accurate, I think.
That's exactly what it is. But that's really the Bitcoin. Also, so here's another thing. I don't know, if I could just bore you a little bit longer with the TA. So you say this is the bull flag, but you could also say that we're still in a bull flag.
Oh crap, dude!
It's so stupid.
Look, crap, dude!
Look, we're still in the bull flag.
Oh crap! 100K Bitcoin.
Oh yeah,
in a month.
It's just a yeah. So you bull flag.
Dude. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that is funny.
But still, you know what? I'm taking a position, even though technical analysis is not reliable and should never be used for investors or traders, in my opinion, in my non-financial advice opinion. If I had to make a line in the sand, that's what Benjamin Cowan calls it. Our line in the sand. You watch Benjamin Cowan?
Not in a long time. I watched him before, but
Super intelligent guy. But
well, he was wrong about a lot of stuff, but it's
yeah,
okay. He
see
seems
that
smart.
he's a PhD in engineering. You got to be smart for that.
You can buy those on the internet these days, dude. Come on.
True.
He
But
definitely seems really smart.
yeah, I like how he thinks. But the line in the sand is we pull back to 21K max, and then we go to 27, or we redraw. This is our new bull flag, and then we just get support here and we go up to 27. But we can't go down here. I don't think we're going down here for now.
Okay.
But the question is, do you think the bottom is in? Is the bottom in for Bitcoin?
I do, but I don't.
Okay, that's not. You can't answer like that.
I do. I think it is, but I kind of hope it's gonna go to 11K still.
I think it's over. I think it's in.
Bold prediction. Yeah, I wonder what we haven't heard from Richard Hart. I wonder what he thinks.
I mean, he gives good reasons why it's not. Like Tether, not Tether, but people are giving Tether. And there's a lot of coin unlocks. But here's something that I said. I don't know if I told you this, but if you're like having coin unlocks, like so there's the Mount Gox and the Silk Road and things like that. Would you not want to make it happen during the bull market? Because if there's an unlock and the people that get their unlocks are sitting on some mad gains, they're probably not going to sell. But if we're like right now, Bitcoin's price, they're probably going to sell because people like selling bottoms and buying tops.
It's a good point. I hadn't thought of that. Yeah.
I think that could be why they're pushing it off.
That's interesting. Maybe. I think I'm hearing some feedback.
For me?
I guess so.
There's an echo?
Yeah. I'm not sure how, because you have headphones on. Maybe it's all right.
How about now?
I still hear myself. Wait.
How about now?
Hello. I still hear myself for some reason. Maybe if I turn my mic down. I don't know if that has something to do with it. Hello. All right, I think it's good.
Okay.
Nice.
In chat, if the quality, if the sound is bad, please say something, because yesterday it was horrible and no one said anything. So I guess you guys are just not listening. Okay, so yeah, that's that for Bitcoin. The bottom is maybe in, but I guess one way to find out. Next, we got Hex. Hex has not really done anything, which is maybe a good thing that it has not done anything. But we're still in this channel over here. This falling wedge, call it a falling wedge, or a descending triangle, whatever you want. Got back in it, and we're at 2.4. We're going to 2.6, and then are we going to break down to maybe 1.6, or are we going to go up to 4.6? What's your take?
Well, I have no idea. This isn't financial advice, but I think it can depend on PulseChain V3 announcements. So, but that being said, we didn't really get a pump from those announcements yesterday. But I don't know. I think if the mainstream market bottom is in, then the Hex bottom is in. But I think if Bitcoin's going to go to 11K, Hex is probably going to revisit a penny, unless we get like a really bullish PulseChain announcement, and we just do our own thing.
Okay, so something interesting though is that on Bitcoin there was a bearish divergence, but on Hex there's a bullish divergence, right? You got a lower high, higher high, higher high, lower high. Does that change your perspective?
No, because like we've said, the TA stuff is all like baloney anyway. So
hey. No, I'm kidding.
I think if Richard Hart tweeted something really bearish right now, the bullish divergence here wouldn't really matter, maybe, you know. But I mean, like you said, it very well could be that the bottom is in for everything, and we take off pretty soon. I've seen some interesting theories that 2024 we actually pump, and maybe we top a little earlier. And one of those theories is the 4-year cycle has been so consistent. Now everyone is like, oh, we know exactly what's going to happen. And that could be the moment when it does deviate a little bit.
Interesting. Well,
yeah.
So that is interesting with regard to that, with regard to the 4-year cycle. But I guess, yeah, that is interesting. Maybe it looks like the bottom happened on time. Is the top going to happen on time? Maybe it'll start getting front run. My take was that when Ethereum flips Bitcoin, I think the 4-year cycle is going to break because Bitcoin's not going to lead the market. It's not going to be as significant of a player. But it's interesting. It's going to break. The question is when. I think you have to ladder out. I don't think you should be timing the market, in my opinion, and obviously not financial advice. But I think there has to be some sort of ladder out in the months preceding the cycle top schedule, as well as the months succeeding the cycle top schedule. But there's definitely going to have to be some sort of profit-taking allocation because, it wouldn't feel good if you didn't take any profits. But that's why you got to go to furufinance.com and book a free consultation. But that's really it for that. As far as that, this is a good question by Big Vi. What do you think would happen if Richard Hart tweeted, "I changed my mind about my bottom call"? What do you think that would do for the Hex price? Because there are a lot of people that are not buying Hex because they think that Bitcoin is going to 11K and therefore Hex is headed lower as well.
I think we'd probably go up in price, maybe to like 5 cents. Maybe we just double instantly.
Yeah, the question is Richard Hart really like tying his hands behind his back by doubling down on the Bitcoin 11K and pray? Because it's clear that at least right now, Hex is tracking Bitcoin. Not directly, but, it hasn't been doing what it did last time when Bitcoin had that massive pullback and Hex was at all-time highs. So I think people picked up on that, and the market is forward thinking and it prices things in. And I think a lot of people with a lot of money are waiting for that 11K to happen before they start picking up Hex. And I think that may have been a big... That's a very good point, Big Vi. And I've never seen you here, but that was a high IQ comment. So please like and subscribe to my channel. That was a very high IQ comment that in a way he is hurting himself a little bit by doubling down on 11K and pray, because he likes to say it doesn't mean that Hex hasn't bottomed. He kind of mentioned that, briefly during the Hex conference, but I don't think people are buying it. I think he may be holding back the Hex price unintentionally by doubling down on his 11K call. But what's your thoughts on that, Ben? That's a great point, Big Vi. Shout out to you.
On Big Vi's point or your point?
First, no, on Big Vi's point, and therefore my point. But first, that's a high IQ take right there, no?
Yeah, I think it's a good question.
Great question.
It's fun to speculate on. That would be pretty crazy. Like, it's hard to think what would happen if you tweeted that. Like I said, maybe Hex price would just double to 5 cents, but probably not. Honestly, I don't know if much would happen, really.
Well, so with what Richard Hart says about Bitcoin, I was actually talking about this yesterday. Like, he doesn't have enough of an effect. He's not a big enough person that he could disrupt markets with his statements. Like Jim Cramer, like I said, can never really be right, because even if he has a call and that call is what would have happened, once he says it on TV, that completely shifts the market dynamics. I think that's a very big reason why he's not right. So with Bitcoin, Richard Hart can't do that yet. But with Hex, he can to an extent. And that's why it's a little bit interesting.
He, according to Dollar Cost Crypto, and they were hanging out in Miami, Richard told him that he thought the Hex bottom was in way back then at like 3 cents. And Dollar Cost Crypto is like saying that a lot. Like Richard told me he thought the bottom was in. But I don't know. That didn't really affect anything.
Well, that's because he didn't say it outright. And honestly, I don't know if I believe. Yeah, I don't know if I believe that. That doesn't sound like Richard to say with certainty. I don't know if I believe.
I think he said he thinks that he thought the bottom was in. I don't think he said, "Oh, we're definitely the bottom's in," but he seemed to think it might be in. But
and it's also different if he says it in private and then someone comes out and says that he said that and he never confirms it, than like him coming out on like Ivan on Tech stream and saying like the Hex bottom is in, or like things like that. But it's not necessarily that he could intentionally move it in one direction or the other. It's just that he could disrupt it, and that's like kind of very similar to like the Federal Reserve. Like they can actually, what they say, like if they suddenly and abruptly say that we're slashing interest rates, and there's no time to price it forward, then they can make a big impact. But I don't know. There are a lot of times where like when they say something, like for example, they said we're going to begin tapering to fight inflation, whatever, and the markets pumped the next day, and that wasn't expected. It was expected that it's supposed to be the opposite, and then afterwards, everyone says, "Oh yeah, it's because it was really priced in," or blah blah blah. But I mean, the overall point is what they say disrupts the markets. So I think what Richard Hart says disrupts the markets, and I think he might be actually tying. This might not be so good for the Hex price that he's doubling down, but I don't know. That's interesting. Peter says, great stream. And Peter also says, guys, subscribe to Patreon, get a consultation with Furu. Is a money well spent. He's so knowledgeable. Thank you, Peter. And I appreciate that. I appreciate you attending the Patreon course, part 1, which was last Sunday, which if you go to the Patreon, link in the description, you could watch it. And we're doing part 2 live, so you could participate any tier. But thank you, Peter. And Ted Cash says the bottom is not in, as unemployment is a concern as GDP slows down, more bankruptcies possible. When the media starts broadcasting these metrics, then we're heading south. What's your take on that?
Not sure. I mean, that could be right. I don't know enough about macro stuff.
I don't know. Like the media has been broadcasting pretty fearful about the future.
I've heard too, though, that crypto can bottom before stocks, and that could be what's happening. I don't know.
Yeah, definitely can. It's very oversold, and more bankruptcies are possible. But I mean, do they have to happen? Especially inflation coming down, that prices in a lot of optimism for the future of the markets. I don't know. I feel like I don't know. Honestly, shout out to Jerome Powell, because like he's looking like a huge Chad right now, because people like Peter Schiff and like everyone in crypto was saying the Fed doesn't know what they're doing. You don't know what they're doing. And they're going to destroy the economy. They can't tighten up, and they did, and we're still here. So maybe like he's kind of a smart guy and knows what he's doing. I'm not saying everything the Fed does is good, but I'm saying like he's a very smart guy. I hear him talk. He's a very smart guy, and he's looking like a Chad right now. Just saying, like That is, you gotta call it like it is, right? He is looking like a Chad. Are you in agreement?
I guess so. I don't even watch his like speeches or anything. I just hear what other people are saying about it.
Yeah. And
so
then
sure, yeah. I guess he's doing a good job.
I mean, Peter Schiff. According to Peter Schiff, the Fed hiking to like 5% in a couple months, we should be Nicaragua right now or whatever, and and we're not. So it looks like maybe he knows something that other people don't, but who knows? And Humberto Gonzalez, I respect Richard Hart very much, but I think this time he's wrong. The bottom is in. This bear market will not go down 85%. Let's stop using 11K theory. It doesn't have any strong support. Hex is not shown. This is a lot. This is a lot to read, man. Hex has not shown that it is tied to the market. Hex's price is influenced by PulseChain narrative. The rumor going to 56. If we get announcement of V3, the documentary out, and then PulseChain launch announcement, the price of Hex will rocket. Okay. I'll tell you one thing. I agree with this, and the reason why I say that is because Bitcoin, the 85% dip is based on last correction, which it pumped more. It pumped that much more. So it dumped more. Is that not a fair conclusion? Like if it pumped 100 something X last time and dropped 85, if it pumps 17X, it's going to drop less. That makes a lot of sense. But I don't know.
It still dumped 85% before when it pumped more in the past, like 3 cycles ago, like it pumped more, dropped 85%, then it pumped less and still dropped 85%.
I thought it dumped more. Didn't it used to drop 90?
I don't know. I thought it always only did 85% dips unless it was like really early.
We could look it up if you want. Or we don't have to because we got a lot of PulseChain stuff.
Yeah.
All right. We moving on. Okay. Let me share my screen, as Ben Duvard says. Crypto bubbles. Oh, that T token.
Oh no.
That was going nuts, but very red day. You guys get the message. Red day. Hex daily stats. Payout per T-share.
Nice.
6.27. Not bad. And 22 new holders and 29 new stakers. So
cool.
Great stuff. This is a good one I want to show you. When they think PulseChain dev, what do you say to them? When they think you're a PulseChain dev, what do you say to them?
That's funny.
No, dude, that was freaking awesome. This was a response to some women on Hex in the Hex Twitter that are saying a dev just told me V3 could be hours away.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. And this, I like.
I saw that. That's a funny one.
Okay. Let's get to the meat and potatoes, guys. And now, quick 6.1 million total social engagement from KDP. What's your thoughts on that? Bear market, Hex getting 6.1 million.
It's crazy. It's bullish. We have the best community in all of crypto. Hex, PulseX. I think we have the strongest community. Most active.
I'd agree with that.
I think most loyal too.
Yeah, true. This is the future. Anyways, we got K4K crypto. Newest update for PulseChain. Also forward it to t.me/Pulse Theory Telegram for reading and discussion. So this was from last night. PulseChain Aragon client status as of today. Unless you're a developer and really even if you are, this stuff is hard to understand. Some people like these kinds of updates, though. The bodies are downloaded now onto the indexing and Merkle tree building stage. Is this guy like a mobster? The rest of the stages are mostly CPU intensive and is what makes Aragon the choice for block explorers and other utilities that use them at the end of these stages. Total disk usage will be in the ballpark of 2 TB, stage 9, blah, 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 blah. PulseChain launch soon. That's what I'm reading, but we actually have a translation from this guy. Translation for noobs. They are compiling Pulse Network. It takes a lot of time and disk space, currently 12% done. When done, it needs to be deployed on a server. It's a big-ass file, so need to streamline the upload. If they had troubles deploying in the past, fixed that. It takes a few days to compile, add the actual deployment time. Okay. Still not sure if I understand that, but what's your take on that?
Cool. I think KDP's 10 to 20 day prediction could come true for testnet V3.
Yeah.
That's what it seems like.
Yeah, it could come true. There was actually this was good.
Nice.
That was good. Figured I'd show you guys, but then we got Richard Hart saying 7-hour news. So he hasn't tweeted in 4 days until this came out.
Yeah, something like that.
So this looks like the Matrix. 7 hours ago, stage 7 takes a long time. It's on block 6,664,977 of 15,689,673. Head of the V3 testnet and has been running for about 19 hours, whatever that says. And then he says PulseChain. This was today. So PulseChain Aragon client status as of today, unless you're a developer, and really, even if you so this was just a copy of the last message, right? That was
yeah. He just posted it on Twitter this time.
So my take is PulseChain V3 close. What's your take?
Yeah, I agree. I think that as well.
He says the development the TLDR is that development is going great. Pick of that.
Exciting. I'm ready. But who knows how long we're going to have the testnet running for before we get mainnet.
So for everyone thinking that it was ready to go and he's just trying to time the market, I think it's not really looking like that, guys. There's actually things that need to be done and needed to be done. So that was vindicated. I think I'm vindicated on that one. But what's your thoughts on that?
Unless he's lying.
Yeah, really, all this is the lie.
Ha. Idiot. Can't believe you're falling for it.
No, really all this was the lie. Exactly. But honestly, everyone's going crazy over this. I'm not really going so crazy. It's PulseChain V3 is close. I mean, I've been thinking that for a while, so I guess it's confirmation, but it's not that crazy in my opinion, but it's good. It is further confirmation. Also, I know a lot of people there were some people out there that were saying that maybe he's not working on it because of the 3-letter word. And I think that renders all those people as people that didn't know what they were talking about. But
yeah,
I'm proud to say that I did not fall for that. So
yeah, those are stupid people.
Yeah. And let's go take a look at any further thoughts on the development though.
Not really. It's exciting. I think one thing that I said in my weekly update video stands true is we don't know how long we're gonna have testnet for. Like, it could be a long time. Who knows? Or we might need a new testnet because something goes wrong. So I just tell everyone to keep their heads on and be rational. Don't get emotional. Like PulseChain's going to happen within a month after testnet. Like we have no idea. And even then, I'm skeptical all the way because we were told mid-May a year ago, and I was so freaking excited because I was like, "This is it. This is 100% happening." So even if we get some kind of thing, like I'm not going to be super stoked until it's actually live. Then I will be like, "Okay, mainnet is here. This is real." Till we know for sure. Because, like Richard Hart says, software is hard. So.
Yeah, and I really, again, don't mind waiting, to be honest. I don't know what the rush is, but some
We
people
have
do
no other
mind
option,
waiting.
really. Yeah. Yeah. It's like you can't really control it. So.
True. Great point. Yeah, guys, we got 37 watching, so make sure you hit the like button and subscribe. And make sure that you go to furufinance.com and you schedule your free call, free one-on-one. It's free, okay? So you guys have no excuses. Just get it done today. Schedule your free call and subscribe to the channel. But yeah, and then leave a couple super chats. But let's look at the chat before we get to our next story. But Humberto Gonzalez, should I work the other way? Probably. Then you get the flow of the chat. Oi oi from Red Squirrel. Ted Cash says, I've seen this game play out with the .com bubble. Pay attention to the big tech companies laying off employees. The ripple effect takes up to 3 months before it all comes to a head. But the .com bubble was .com companies. The crypto bubble is crypto companies, and I think with crypto companies, they've been laying off for a little more than 3 months, to say the least. What do you think about that?
Yeah, that's a good point.
And yeah, I guess that's really my thoughts on that. I'm not saying that it's definitively the bottom. And I think if you trade my call, you're an idiot. I'm a dollar cost average guy and I don't give financial advice, but as far as Ted Cash's, I don't know. It takes up to 3 months. And also we're getting so much bearish news, like the Genesis bankruptcy didn't even like move the market. It's just, I think we're just oversold to the point where news isn't even moving the market. So I think that's very bullish. I mean, that's not bullish. I keep on saying also, the bottom being in does not mean that I'm bullish. It means not that we're not at the beginning of the bull market. We're not at the beginning of the bear market. We're not at the end of the bear market. We're at the beginning of the end of the bear market. So there's still going to be a lot of, there's going to be a lot of downside, but are we going to go back down under 15,500? I'm leaning on the side that we're not, but it's obviously possible. Anything's possible in crypto. But what's your thoughts on everything I just said?
I think we're pretty close to the end of the bear, if we haven't already bottomed.
Yeah.
So,
but Hex Austin said, if all this bearish news doesn't affect, hey, see, great minds think alike. Hex Austin. Specific price and trends go up for a lot of crypto. Bottom is in. Great point. And the Bitcoin halving, is it? People were saying February. Is it February or is it May 2024?
I think it's February.
It's February.
Yeah, I think so.
That's wait. So now it's saying March 18th, 2024. I think the date keeps on changing.
Right.
So let's say it's March. That means that traditionally it's been 6 months before the halving, and then there's a dump, and then 6 months after. But I think the dump also coincided with the COVID, whole thing, which is probably not going to repeat itself. So we don't know exactly, but it should be within 3 to 6 months of March. So we should start having some good price action, maybe even in June. Maybe even like in August 2023. But what do you think?
Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea, man. I'm hoping maybe here's what I hope is that PulseChain launches before the summer and we get another kind of like DeFi summer with PulseChain.
Yeah, that's possible too. I hope so.
And like PulseChain and other like maybe Phantom and these other kind of like similar products, we all just kind of have a nice bullish summer. That'd be cool.
A nice bullish summer followed by a nice crash. No, I'm kidding.
Nice correction, and then we hit the PulseX 100x from SAC price over the summer. Then we have a nice correction. Then we hit the 1000x in the bull run.
Yeah, that would be great. We hit the 10,000x, right? In
maybe from the dip that could happen upon launch if we dip like way below SAC price.
Yeah, true. Maybe. Grayscale is down again, minus 42. So this is what I said about the Grayscale discount. Richard Hart, one of his reasons for saying that the bottom's not in. I've been having some disagreements with Richard Hart, okay? I'm sorry. But he says the bottom's not in because the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust discount has to close. But it doesn't have to. It's not like, oh yeah, we can't move up yet. We can't go up because first the discount has to close and then, the bottom's in and then we could start going up. It's like the price isn't waiting for the discount to close. And the good proof of that was in the recent price action. As the price went up, the discount started closing. So that would be indicative that probably the discount is not going to close at least fully until we're at least at 40, 50,000. Moreover, we've made all-time highs when there was a Grayscale discount, and we were at like lows when there was a premium. I don't know if there's like I'm pretty sure, but I don't know if there's a direct correlation where if the price is up and all of a sudden there's a discount, it has to have that massive correction. I mean, that could. I don't know if there's. I think maybe to make all-time highs, it has to close, but to bottom, I don't think it has to close. But what do you think?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm wondering if it'll just disappear. That's kind of what I keep thinking, is if they're just going to go under.
I don't think so. I think Digital Currency Group is staying. They've been around since 2016. But who knows? They might. Definitely seems reason to think that there is. Okay, Humberto Gonzalez, awesome stream. Let's hit the like and share. Yes, thank you, Humberto. I disagree. Macro environment is not well. Canada announced today's rate increase of 22.5. Is that a pivot? I doubt it. Well, I don't know how Canada's been doing it, but the last one for the US was 50. If there's a 25, I think the markets will take that. If there's a CPI print that's lower and there's a 25 basis point increase, I think the market will take that very bullishly. So I don't know. What do you think, Ben?
I don't know enough about all this stuff, the macro stuff.
He says 11K in praise and play. Okay. I mean, I hope you're not waiting in cash for it, but I'm not a financial advisor, and I don't know. I think it's very risky. I think DCAing is the best, but that's my opinion. Convinced PulseChain will be the shining star of the next bull. Yes, that's what I've been saying. It's going to be the story. I think it is going to be the biggest story of the next bull market. And Monica, welcome. Just jumping in. Morning all. I pay attention to what financial firms are doing with their employees' numbers. Back in 2007, I worked for JP Morgan, and Jamie Dimon warned us during town hall meetings what was coming before 2008. Jamie Dimon warned. Okay. Okay. I mean, so therefore what? I mean, just because back then, and also 2008, nobody saw that coming from what I remember. I mean, and from what it seems like, nobody expected that. Now everybody's expecting a crash until very recently because there was price, but everyone was expecting further downside. So maybe, I don't know. You think there's going to be another crash? Maybe. I mean, you might be right. You're a smart guy, so. Get here when it gets here. Keep DCing in. I agree. News doesn't move the market. Coins for sale move the market. We have all those coins RH mentioned that need to be sold. DCA, my friends. Well, news makes people buy and sell. But DCA, I agree with that. Davis. What is up, Davis? Welcome, Mr. Davis. Appreciate you having you in here. Have large bags packed for the next bull market. Awesome.
Nice.
And Ted Cash says, Furu, it's a healthy exercise to occasionally disagree with RH, but I think Richard Hart's perspective of the market is most likely. What we're seeing is a bear trap. Yeah, I definitely am not so. I'm definitely not like so convinced where like I would go out and say, some reckless things. But I'm leaning towards it's in. Okay, I could totally be wrong. I could totally be wrong. But if you're asking me, I say bottoms in. Fair. But what do you think?
Oh man, it's like this weird thing where like I think the bottom's in, but I'm also like I don't want to doubt Richard Hart because I doubted him when he called the top, and that sucked. But either way, my bags are packed. Like,
pack your bags.
Like, I sacrificed my damn arms and legs for this PulseChain and PulseX. So I'm just waiting, and then I'm staked. I got a lot of stakes and been buying Hex for a while now, so that's
fair enough.
My thoughts personally.
Yeah.
I'm kind of like.
So another thing worth mentioning is maybe more of a testament of my optimism is I used to be saying like maybe don't go in on so much liquid Hex because the price might dump. Personally, I have been more liberal and I have been buying liquid Hex instead of stables, because I think the risk is more to the upside, but could totally be wrong. So that's I guess what I'd say about that. But we got 40 watching. Go hit the like button, subscribe, and go to furufinance.com. Book your free 10-minute consultation today. With me, okay? With me. And next up, we got. So this was tweeted by Cointelegraph, which was cool. And it says, Eric Wall is the prime antagonist against Richard Hart and Hex. And he was prepared to throw in his job at NASDAQ rather than stop feuding with IOTA. He says he's fighting the good fight. What's your initial thoughts on this, on everything that, is I just said? And...
Well, it looks like the picture looks like it's like a pride flag behind him or something. I was like, it's like they're like proud gay man, Eric Wall.
and the suit, yeah.
The purple bow tie. Yeah. I don't know. I didn't read the article or anything. I just saw it and I was like, oh, that's funny. It's good. It's funny. What I did think was interesting was I was like, wow, they're really promoting Richard Hart and Hex a lot lately. They were talking about the SEC because they never talked about Hex and Richard Hart, but now Cointelegraph or CoinDesk had an article about Hex influencers, attacked by the SEC. Some guy on TikTok actually tried to, throw that article in my face in the comments section. I was like, bro, you don't know what you're talking about. But anyway, it's interesting. And then I saw the Bankless guys have been like tweeting about Hex. It's
yeah.
Wow, we're so legitimate now. Everyone's talking about us. This is so great. So it's interesting how they say Eric Wall, his main claim to fame now is that he's the prime antagonist against Richard Hart and Hex. All of the other shit he did doesn't matter, apparently. We're what matter. So that's kind of funny to me.
That's a very good point.
How it's framed like that.
No, that is
now so many people are going to be like, oh, he's a prime antagonist against what? Richard Hart and Hex. Let me look them up. And then boom.
Yeah, no, that is a great point. And that's something that Richard Hart briefly mentioned, like why people are, flooding Hex, because there's nothing else happening everywhere else. All the other communities are gone. This is where it's happening. And yeah, Bankless is forced to talk about it. And Cointelegraph, that's a big one. They're forced to talk about it. So that is big. But without further ado, we could hop right into the article.
Alrighty.
Which is by
excellent
Telegraph magazine. Oh yeah. There's multiple cryptocurrency communities who have me as their favorite hate object, basically, says crypto analyst Eric Wall, formerly known as the altcoin slayer. But actually, you know what? I am grateful for Eric Wall, because this coverage would not be happening if not for Eric Wall. He is a decently big name in the crypto space, and he has a lot of connections with these big companies, and him being the Hex troll does generate a lot of coverage from them because they're affiliated with him. These big news agencies are affiliated with Eric Wall, and Eric Wall is affiliated with Hex. And honestly, it is like he loves us. His life would be so boring without us. He knows it. We know it. And we're happy to have Eric Wall as a troll. But yeah, respect to Eric Wall. Although he's had a variety of jobs in the crypto in the industry, including a stint as Arcane Assets Chief Investment Officer, Eric Wall is probably best known for his SHIT posting and arguing with people on crypto Twitter. Just like any other person, I'm scrolling my Twitter feed, and then you see people just say dumb, that is incorrect, and that is based on a lie. And then I just argue with that person. And then those arguments lead to long-form medium articles, he says, with just a faint trace of a Swedish accent. I'm just trying to correct incorrectness in the space. This is like the Chad and Virgin meme. He's been working on a super secret project ever since he left Arcane early last year. So he doesn't have an official title apart from blockchain research. It's super secret. And board member for Ethereum Scaling Solutions, the Starknet Foundation. super secret. After our
can't talk about it.
Yeah. After arguing with people for years for free, more recently, Wall has been attempting to make money from challenging antagonists to a bet and has already semi-literally begun collecting the skulls of his enemies. That has been paying off in tungsten cubes and actual money, he says. There's multiple cryptocurrency communities who have me as their favorite hate object. Basically, they want to put it in your plate. They want to put you in your place. All they have, and they have all sorts of idiotic ideas. Wall recently moved to Portugal from Sweden, attracted by the crypto-friendly regulation. and the lifestyle, and for safety reasons, after the next most prominent crypto future in Sweden was physically attacked in an attempt to steal his crypto. Wow.
That's crazy.
He explains the tax system there is so transparent that anyone can look up your net wealth. If you combine that with the fact that you're in crypto, and it's very easy to pick out targets in Sweden, he says. Wall says he paid for the rent on his new flat through the hatred of hexagons. He's been at Lager, well deserved, man. We're happy to support you. You give us a lot of coverage, so I'm not even tripping. He's been at loggerheads with the Hex community since 2019, when founder Richard Hart explained the scheme to him. The scheme. In February last year, he made a bet with Hexagon Dixon Piper that Hex, then trading at 18, would reach a new all-time high by February 2023. While he hasn't won yet, he almost certainly will, given Hex's current price. Yeah, that's true. He probably will. After Hex plunged to 4 cents, he was able to hedge the bet and lock in a profit of $16,000 to pay for his apartment in Lisbon. I have this place now with just the most amazing view that I've ever seen in my life. I see the entire Portuguese coast. Hey, you were in Portugal.
That's right.
Have you been around here? Is it nice?
I've been to Lisbon. Yeah, Lisbon's cool. It's chaotic as crap, but it's a really cool place. I mean, Portugal's beautiful. It's very beautiful.
So he says he sees the entire Portuguese coast from that window. From that balcony. I can have these hexagons telling me how stupid I am while looking at that view. So we don't have to. Should we read this part with the? Well, kudos to him. I can't hate on that.
But you can still lose the bet though. You got 7 days or 6 days.
True.
What's behind the wall? Oh, this is great journalism.
Cute. And then Erica. Hence the rainbow.
Oh man.
But what's your thoughts on that? On him making a living off trolling Hex?
Yeah, it's funny. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's funny. It's a funny article. It's funny journalism. Just the way it's all written. So like, I don't know.
Yeah, no, it is funny. It is funny. I guess, I didn't know he was making money off this. I guess, if he's making money off this trolling, I think it's not something I would do, and it's definitely not something that, high class, high caliber people engage in. But I am grateful for it. And well deserved. I mean, he did make a bet, and it's looking like he's going to win it, although he may not. We'll have to wait and see how that plays out. But kudos to him for that. And I guess, God bless. Not something that I would do, and definitely not something that like serious people do. But it has helped Hex a lot. And the testament to that is really getting coverage by Cointelegraph. I remember there was a big cryptocurrency space, a Twitter space that I tuned into that had like thousands of people from different communities, and they were all listening to Eric Wall talk about Hex and talk about how Richard is like delusional and this and that and whatever. And it's like, wow, that's amazing. Would not have happened if not for someone like himself. So I like what he's doing, to say the least. But what do you think?
Yeah, I like Eric Wall. I actually found like a 4-hour conversation between him and Dev Kyle on YouTube the other day. Mm-hmm. It has like 8,000 views. Have you seen that?
I've not seen that.
I didn't know it existed. I'm going to link it because it was really good. I didn't know. It's from a year ago. But yeah, it's about 4 hours. But Dev Kyle, like the super smart Hex dev, he and Eric Wall talk about Hex, and then they talk about PulseChain too, but it's like they're talking about like the Binance Smart Chain, PulseChain, and then but they said in it they're like, oh yeah, let's meet up in a year in August 2023 or 2022 or something. Let's meet up in August and talk. So hopefully, maybe they'll do it again sometime because it was really interesting to hear them talk. And I think Dev Kyle had some really good defense of Hex. So worth listening to, definitely.
Yeah, and I know he also was on Corey Costa. But
that was good. That was a good talk as well.
I don't think he even thinks Richard Hart's a scammer. I just think he thinks that Hex isn't going to do well. And I think he really likes Richard Hart a lot. I think they are very fond of each other, actually. I think a lot of it is just that Eric Wall knows that it gets some engagement. And I say not to engage with trolls, but that's because I'm talking about trolls that, are smaller than you and, it doesn't benefit you. But if someone's got such a following, it may be worthwhile engaging if they're going back and forth with you, but that's up to you. But yeah, I guess we'll catch up on the chats for now. We got 33 watching. Make sure you like and subscribe. Make sure you go to furufinance.com and you book that one-on-one, okay? Schedule a free call today. Then you press schedule. You could also join the Patreon, support me and support you. Great benefits, great discounts, live courses, recorded courses, Zoom meetings, Discord, patron shout outs, direct messaging, all those things. Linking that in the description. So,
very nice.
We'll hit that link, please, and go to furufinance.com and book your free one-on-one today. But moving on, we are going to look at your chats.
All right, I'll be right back. I'm making a cup of coffee.
Just got to get that cup of coffee. Okay. The whole article is hilarious. Yes. Hopefully Hex hits at least $1 next bull. Hopefully it hits a lot more than that. But yeah, $1. I want more, honestly. I want more than $1. I want more than 100x. Did a 10,000 last time. Bitcoin's first time did like an 8,000 and then it did like a 1,000. So I want at least a 1,000. But nobody knows. But hopefully it hits $1 and then more. Way more than that, buddy. Yes. See, Pete Swag. Great minds think alike, like I said. If Hex hits $1, that would mean 14,000 Hexkins would be millionaires. 14,000 is absolutely nothing. Canada alone has 3 million millionaires. Yeah, I mean, I think we're going to have a lot more millionaires in Hex than people expect there to be, in my opinion. And the reason for that is simple, because it cuts out the externality that makes people sell before they become millionaires. So, which also makes the price go up as well. So with Bitcoin, the biggest problem that everyone talks about is that people sold their Bitcoin early. But with Hex, you can't sell your Hex early. So imagine how much higher the Bitcoin price would be right now if you couldn't sell your Bitcoin early. Imagine Bitcoin had the Hex game theory. Do you think it would be at the current price, or you think it would be considerably higher? I think it would be considerably higher. No question about it, especially with T-share like game theory. So I think there's going to be a lot more millionaires than people think they're going to be. And albeit it's not like technically it's paper and like it's not liquid, both that the liquidity pools can't handle it. And also that they're staked, so they can't unlock, but paper millionaires. And that eventually becomes, tangible millionaires. But trying to be conservative. Okay. I respect that. And Dev Kyle's Gigabrain, 100%, 100%. Dev Kyle did a great job on the chat with Eric. I do too. Thanks, bro. I want at least 1,000x. Chad recognizes Chad. Yeah, I want 1,000x too. And CI says, if you want 1,000x, then you need someone to buy for this prices. Absolutely. But people will buy for. I think people would buy for. You mean for this price, like right now, or the prices that it's going to be in the future? Because Johnny Cass actually talked about it. Like for you might think, why would anyone want to buy a $5 hex? It's really because you're seeing it at this price. So, imagining buying it at $5, when you live through it, when it's this price, it's hard to imagine. But things change. One, because once we get to $5, you're probably going to want to buy more, especially if it drops back to, let's say, $3. That's just how it works. As it pumps, people get greedy. They want to buy more and more, even though they had it cheaper. But also because the people that didn't get in early, they never saw it at those low prices. So they just want to buy it for the first price they see. To them, it's normal. Just like the people that are in Bitcoin, that are buying Bitcoin now. There's no shortage of people buying Bitcoin in the thousands of dollars. There's no shortage of that. So I don't see why, if Hex goes really, really high, there would be people that are like, hey, wait a second, I shouldn't buy it. It's too much. So yeah. And you see that as the price goes up, the amount of buyers goes up. The only thing is those buyers don't have the economic energy to hold the price up against the sellers that got in early, because the sellers that got in early just have that much more because they got in early and they got it for pennies on the dollar. So they could dump the price down. And that's what you call a correction. That's what we call a correction. But yeah, people will buy at those prices during bull market euphoria. Absolutely. Just put yourself in the shoes of somebody that comes in when something's going up. Everyone wants to buy it when it's going up. Nobody wants to buy it when it's going down. Be greedy when others are fearful, and fearful when others are greedy. And go to furufinance.com right now and book your free 10-minute consultation right now, today. And then we got Mudhog. For those who don't know, Dev Kyle was instrumental in modeling the T-share, probably the most powerful mechanism in hex staking. Yeah, he was the one that made it that longer pays better, and you can't compound, right? So, and then Davis says, I bought at 0.18 and 2.2 to sell on PulseChain launch news for more dry powder. Sell for dry powder. You don't want to sell for PulseChain. Maybe you got in on the sacrifice. I don't know. I think that's trading. That's trading. So I hope you're not doing it with a significant amount of money, but totally up to you. And Frank, what is going on, Frank? Nice to see you live in the chat. Frank and I, we had a one-on-one yesterday, and it was really good. So people who bought at 56 cents are still buying now, DCAing. That pattern will be the same when it hits $1.50. They'll be buying again at big pullbacks. 100%. I think there'll be those people buying at pullbacks, and also people buying at pull-ups. So people buying at considerably higher prices. But great point. Like, people buy rips because people, I mean, it is unfortunate, but it is the animalistic instinct that when price is going up and people are starting to get rich, the people that are waiting on the sidelines, seeing it happen, they don't want to feel like they're missing out on the opportunity, right? Like, they don't want to feel like, they're missing the train, and they just ape in probably a lot more than they should, a lot faster than they should. But yeah. Peter, I was buying at 5 cents up to 46 cents, and all the way down to 2 cents, just DCA. I agree. Is it net positive or negative? If Hex doesn't follow the market during a bull trap, on one hand, we look smart, on the other, lack of movement could repel some new investors. Interesting to consider. But the lack of movement in this case is positive because it's lack of movement to the downside. Lack of movement to the upside could be a problem. Lack of movement to the downside, I don't think. Like, for example, Ethereum has been showing relative strength to Bitcoin. So it's been going down less and it's been going up more. So hopefully Hex against Bitcoin does the same thing. Speaking of pullbacks, I'm considering Pulse Bitcoin purchase. It's down a ton. So here's what I said. I actually had an interesting take on Pulse Bitcoin. They're trying to say the whole thing about Pulse Bitcoin is that everyone can mine it, and that is supposed to be a positive. But if everybody could mine it, then why would anyone buy it? The reason why everyone buys Bitcoin is because they cannot mine it. So if you have a token that everybody could buy, that everyone could mine, everyone could mint, then you have no reason to buy. And you see that with other things, other coins that are just given out for free. And then, so that's why ASIC had a considerably better price performance, but that's getting wrecked now. And I think a lot of the reason for that is because if what it's producing, so that's the coin that's producing, but if what it's producing just keeps on going down and down and down, then people aren't going to want to own that either. So that's why I don't own or ASIC or Pulse Bitcoin. I'm not saying it can't go up. Maybe it will. I mean, you have these memes and you have these bull markets where just everything goes crazy. But in comparison with Hex, where if you want to mint the Hex, you have to buy and you have to not sell. I think that's a way far, far superior game theory. Clip that up and make a TikTok. But I don't know. That's up to you, and I respect that. But good points. Thank you, Frank. Appreciate it. And then Chad Donnerschwan says, question, Furu. You mentioned having a ladder out strategy. I agree. How much percentage of total bags, in your opinion, should you plan to ladder out? So I had all of it laddered out, but recently I've been buying and having it liquid because I want some to buy PulseChain, and obviously I had stable coins liquid, but now I'm buying some liquid Hex because I think the risk is to the upside. So I have it all laddered, and none liquid. That's the way I do it. But we have cryptocurrency educator Ben Dubard here, and you could also do a 10-minute consultation for furufinance.com and become a patron. But what's your take on Chad Donnerschwan's question about ladder? So he's saying, what percentage of your total bag do you have laddered out and liquid?
Man, liquid, it's such a small amount that I'm kind of just speculating short term on. Probably going to sell in what I hope is a run up to PulseChain launch. Oh, I might be trading. Oh, I'm sorry, I might be trading. Oh, but it's a personal. But laddering, what I like, you could have like, first of all, with your Hex stakes, you could have multiple hardware wallets that you're staked on. That's a good security option, and then you have stakes on a wallet that you're not connecting. You're not connecting that wallet to anything weird on MetaMask. Maybe you could claim an airdrop if you have it like good airdrop for hexkins that you know is safe. You bust out that wallet and do. But what I like is first off, a rookie mistake I made when I first made my Hex ladder is I did like these stakes ending once a month, and they were tiny.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh well, Hex is going to be $100 in such and such a year. But the gas fee is so high. So what I have is I have like 2 a year all the way to 15 years. And then now that I have a ladder, I literally just do 15-year stakes, but that's a personal choice. So you probably understand this. At 10 years, you max out the T-share bonus for longer. But those T-shares are getting so much rarer. Even if you're not getting a time limit bonus for doing 15 years, you're getting to hold them for 5 years longer. I mean, I'm pretty young, I'm like 25. 15 years for me, I'm like, and I have the ladder. It's like, I'm like, why not? Just just get the yield, get the T-shirts as long as you can. So yeah, I have you could do like one big stake a year, two big stakes a year. You could do it. I have them I tried to do them like evenly spaced out in the year. So like one on like Christmas, I think, and then one in like June or July. So it's really up to you though. It's all like a personal decision making. And you don't have to do 15-year stakes too. Because shoot, I might be a big giant idiot for doing that. Who knows?
Or a genius.
Oh, a genius. That's right.
Yeah,
oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, yeah.
I was gonna say I'm gonna have a box at Anfield. I have a private box at the Anfield Stadium. So
Well, which state? Oh, that's the soccer stadium.
Yeah, dude. Liverpool
soccer executive Ben Dubard.
Yeah,
it's like when they have like the camera goes on the on people. Hopefully you'll invite me.
Of course, of course. It'd be sick.
Oh yeah,
I hope so. It'd be awesome.
We'll be rich, and you'll all be rich, and you'll all be in my Patreon, contributing $2,000 a month. Yeah, that's right, because you could afford it, and like you have just so much money, you might as well. But I actually have more stakes coming out per year than I would like. If I could redo it, I would only want like 2 because like they're small and is going to be high gas fees. But I'm hoping 2 things. I'm hoping one, the price appreciates to the point where even with high gas fees, it's going to be worth my while. And Ethereum resolves the gas fee problem. But
yes. So I've heard an interesting theory that eHex is going to die and that PulseX is going to be the real hex. Which or Pulse like PHEX.
Oh, PX.
Richard Hart has already said PHEX is hex now, and eHex is Ethereum hex once Pulse is live. But yeah, I've heard it in the Legion Telegram. If anyone's in the Legion Telegram, Wendy's and Motley are real smart. They kind of theorized that because of the high gas fees for ending stakes, like why would anyone want to buy eHex and stake it? And
well,
I don't know though.
So they're saying that there's going to be no more eHex.
Well, it'll still be there, but like it might just like die out, I guess.
Okay, so what if there's such a gap in the T-share rate that you'll be getting like such a considerable increase in yield that it covers the spread of your high gas fees?
Yeah, that's a good point too. I don't know. Yeah, they're the only people I've heard kind of say that they think.
I think there's that, and I also think that I think that Ethereum's going to resolve the gas fees. They don't think that Ethereum's going to resolve the gas fees. They think Ethereum's then that I think that's I don't know. If they were able to switch from proof of work to proof of stake, I think that's indicative of their seriousness in solving the problem. It's in their interest to solve the problem because, especially with PulseChain coming around, another chain is going to take their thunder, and I don't think they're going to want that to happen. So I think they're wrong.
Nice,
but I don't know. I guess we'll have to see. That's why
we get it copied. So I'm like, whatever. Yeah, that could die. I'm fine with that.
Die.
Die.
But yeah, good question. And also Johnny Chaos had a very interesting theory about how the OA could pool eHex and PHEX with so much that even that there will always be parity, right?
Interesting.
Does that make sense? So if he
Richard Hart did say he doesn't want cheap hex on either chain.
Sorry, guys. So basically, you have the OA. If he pools, like, he has more hex than there is in the market outstanding, like way more. So if he takes, let's say, 10 billion EHEX and 10 billion PHEX and puts it in a liquidity pool, it's pretty much always going to be 1-to-1. And that means that it's going to be parity against the US dollar as well. Why? Because if, let's say, EHEX goes down against the US dollar in comparison with PHEX, people would buy it at a discount. They'd swap it for PHEX 1-to-1, and then they'd sell that for US dollars. So that, I was not of the belief that there would be parity, but now I'm very open to there being parity. But what do you think of that?
Well, yeah, I originally figured, I don't know, I was thinking there would probably be parity over time just because of the cross-chain liquidity providing. So, dude, I'm just so excited for it to launch because, like, oh my gosh, I feel like we've been speculating on, like, what's going to happen after the fork? You know, is this going to, what's the parity going to be? And, dude, I'm just so ready for it to launch, like, so we can actually see what happens.
Yeah, I'm also excited. I'm super excited. CI is a member. Thank you for being a member. You too could be a member. Which coins of the RH ecosystem are you covering, or are you a maxi, or do you look at some other coins and projects outside the RH ecosystem and related? I am not covering anything else because, like, in depth, because I just think this is the best opportunity at this current moment in time. That doesn't mean I'm a maxi in the sense that I am open to getting into other cryptos in the future. You know, because returns inevitably diminish, and especially if things play out like we think, and we're going to be very, very wealthy, you know, then we have the luxury of being able to diversify and look at other projects. But I'm a rec pleb, bro. Like, I don't have that kind of money where I could just curiously speculate, and I think it would be very foolish for me to go look into other coins. I mean, there are some coins that I like more than others, but I'm certainly not going in heavy. But if you look at the newsletter, I did have a take on what the meme coin for the upcoming bull market's going to be, and I did, you know, throw a little bit of negligible money there, but nothing serious.
Out, or is that just me?
Hello?
I hear you now. That was
Okay.
weird. Couldn't hear you for a second.
All right. No, so I did cover that, and that's the only other one, and that's like a negligible amount of money, because if you're chasing meme coins, then you know, I don't know, that's not the kind of game you want to play. But
yeah. In there.
What's your thoughts on all that? And I like Hedron because I get it for free. So
I know Hex Pulse and PulseX the most, and I really don't want to, like, I don't know, lead anyone wrong, and I don't want to talk about stuff I don't know enough about. But check out Dollar Cost Crypto. But yeah, I only talk about Hex, Pulse, and PulseX because that's just what I put all my focus in. That's what I know the most about, and I feel confident enough to talk about it because I know even if I'm saying not financial advice, yada yada, people are still maybe gonna do something just because I mention it. Maybe not, but just, you know, I would like to talk about only what I'm, like, confident in, and, you know.
yeah,
But Dollar Cost Crypto is a good guy to look at because he's into Hex and stuff, but he's also very smart. He's super smart in just crypto in general.
I used to watch him, and he did talk. He was into Celsius, which
well, he got everyone out of Celsius and Luna. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure because he talks about it because he's like, oh, people say we're in Celsius, but, like, we got everyone out.
I don't know. I remember very shortly before they went under. I don't know. It could have been things changed. But
well, you know, just everyone's got to be careful.
I don't know. I stick with it, but I shout out to Dollar Cost. He's a very smart guy, and
I will say, I have a Pulse Doge sock NFT.
Oh,
let's pump the floor price of those things. But no, I sold all my Pulse Doge now. I didn't buy into the whole Pulse Bitcoin ASIC stuff. It's like, maybe that's gonna do awesome. I just haven't. I don't spend all my time doing this crap Like, I pay attention to Hex, Pulse, and PulseX. There's enough stuff going on and stuff I need to remind myself of how this ecosystem is. I don't got time to just like deep dive in other stuff, nor do I really care enough.
I agree. And people don't realize that just the amount of coins that actually make it are negligible. Like, it's very risky. So even like just being crypto is risky, but let alone just chasing everything. We got a lot of chats. Let me just give a shout out to my Patreons, because one of the things is I give patron shout outs. So shout out to Frank, just joined. He's in the chat. Todd, Justin, YTC, Peter was in the chat today, and thank you guys so much for supporting me, and I really, really appreciate it. And you too could become a patron. Link in the description. So I just want to express my appreciation there before you guys, before I read more of your chats, and go click the link over there and become a Patreon today. But
yeah, we got some good chats. I'm reading.
Then we got Mudhog, Hex, Hedron, Icosa, stake for pass field. This is deep dive to understand. Buy, very worth the time, but very worth the time. Yeah, I personally do not pay for Hedron and Icosa, but definitely a play to earn it and stake it. But what are your thoughts?
Yeah, so in the Legion Telegram, like everyone's always talking about that stuff. I mentioned that Telegram because I always read the messages in there, and everyone's always talking about Hedron, Icosa. I think what happened was when Icosa came out, like, and the Watts NFTs, I was like traveling. I was going to my brother's wedding and visiting family, and like it all happened. And it's like in crypto, you miss a month in crypto, you just miss like 2 years, it feels like. So all that stuff happened while I was gone. And then now I've just been like, well, I feel like I kind of missed it. And for me, like, I like the Hex yield. I don't know. I'm just kind of like a simple dude where I enjoy the long-term thing of like this is a weird analogy, but like I love a crock pot, like a crock pot, because I love how you can do all the work in the morning and then you get your delicious meal at nighttime. And I was realizing, I was like, man, this is kind of like staking Hex, where like you stake, you like plant the seed and then you wait and then you reap the reward later on. And I really like that. So, but I don't, I just don't know enough about those things. I haven't I know Hedron, of course, because we got some for free, and I've just been letting that mature with my stakes, and I got the 10x on most of them. So like, I'm like, okay, just let it grow, and
Yeah, I like what you said. So you're two studs. Thanks, man. Appreciate that. Hex 647. Welcome, Mr. Hex 647, and I hope you like and subscribe. I don't think you've been here before, and I appreciate you tuning in. But I domed to a year, but little more, and 2025, 2029, 2033, and 2037. If we keep a 4-year cycle, what is I dom to? I do too. What?
I think maybe I don't do a year.
Oh,
maybe like he doesn't stake a year.
Okay.
So I get that too. I wouldn't. I don't know.
I do yearly, but I don't know. I don't know what Hex I have right now and stake it, but I don't want to have no money for PulseChain launch. Even though Hex is still on sale. And I have a lot staked, but that's why you guys should become patrons, okay? Okay. Me too, buying liquid. I assume you're watching Welcome to Wrexham. What's that?
I'm not sure. I think he's talking to me. I think that's a soccer show, but yeah. No, I haven't been watching much TV. I don't know. I also haven't watched that show about the American guy who becomes a soccer coach. I actually haven't watched that either, and everyone's always like, "You got to watch the show." I can't remember what it's called, but everyone's like, "You got to watch that show," and I'm like, I just haven't watched it.
Yeah. Okay. 37 watching. Please like and subscribe, and click the bell. Appreciate you guys tuning in. It just reminds me, I tuned in. There was, You know those like when the bull market hit, you just start subscribing to these especially when you're new, like these random crypto channels that have like 30, 40, 50,000 subs. You know what I'm talking about? So
Yeah.
like I've been unsubscribing to a lot of them. And one of them I saw was like live. I'm like, hey, let me tune in and see what's going on. This guy has 30,000 subscribers. You know how many people he had watching?
Like 30, 20.
12. And that's
Jeez.
not, I saw another one like 25. We got 2,200 subscribers and 34 watching. And that's not me, folks. It's Hex. It's you guys. So I think that makes me very bullish. And Hexologist, he's got 10K. He gets like 150. Crypto Coffee gets sometimes even 250 during a bear market. That is crazy.
Yeah.
But what do you think about that?
It's nuts. Like, yeah, I think we have the best community. It is nuts, the viewership. I saw last night, it was like RH Max was streaming, or it was someone was streaming and someone else was streaming. One Hex streamer had like 50 people, and then the other one had, like, I think it was Matty Allen, had like over 100, like 180. And I was like, wow.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's really crazy. But shout out to that. Yeah, I feel minimally you should have one T-share per stake, no matter the length. Yeah, I agree.
That's easy to do right now too, especially if you do a 10-year, 15-year, because you get like a triple what it would normally be, triple the amount of shares.
Okay, and Ted Cash says, do you guys think the next bear market will be 2029, 2020, 2030? If so, probably best to not end your staking ladder then, just thinking ahead. You shouldn't end it. I mean, you should have from 555 and bring it back. 2020, if 2024, 2025 is the bull market, then 2026, 2027 is the bear market. 2028, 2029 could be a bull market, but it's not going to be that simple. I think the cycle's going to break. But what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I don't know. That's why I just have two ending each year, and then if like you don't want to sell, get the prices down, just stake it for a year or two, or since you have some for coming next year, just yeet it out as long as you want.
Stake it till you make it.
Yeah. Also, price could go up so much that even if we are in a bear, you might still be up 100x from whatever price is now in that bear. And it's like, you're, might just sell it anyway. You're up so much, it doesn't even matter.
Yeah. True. That is true. Because like the people that are ending their stakes now and dumping, like people are saying, oh, they're so dumb. They're such, they just want to sell the bottom. They're up hundreds of X's. Like they're the ones laughing. Like as far as they're concerned, they have millions of dollars now and they have more stakes outstanding. I think it's wrong what they're doing. I think it is the wrong decision maybe, but at the same time, maybe they don't have a lot of money and they need it. So,
yeah.
Holy crap, we got a ton of chats. Okay. We got to read CI because he's a member. Member gets priority. Minimum 5555 hex per stake. That's a good rule of thumb. Exactly. Rule.
Well, I mean, I guess so. You don't have to do minimum. The max. That's the minimum.
Yeah, and CI says, have you considered looking into Zen and Mint for the gas fees? I think every Hexkin should take the chance and don't let it slip. No financial advice. Dollar cost crypto is in Hex, but DCC is in Hex, but on 1,000 other things. And Mint for the gas. What does that mean, Mint for the gas fees? Oh, you're saying just Mint because it's free. You could, but at the same time, the gas could be spent on other things that do better. But I mean, I have no problem if people want to mint. But that's the problem is that people don't want to buy; they just want to mint. And the chart has vindicated that. But what's your thoughts on that, Ben?
Yeah, I don't know, man. I I think I minted one wallet and then I forgot about it, and I think it's been 100 days, and I think I didn't. So I'm kind of like, it could work out really well. Who knows? I just, like I said earlier, I, I tend to focus on what my three things.
If there's if there's a silver lining, maybe I shouldn't be saying this, but like Levin, like doing what he's doing, you could argue that that is lighting a fire under Richard and making
Maybe.
him want to take action and be more engaging. Like for example, he's come out with some big news, and he's been I don't know, and like I remember one time, like you said, this Levin was saying like these like just stupid things, like the SEC's investigating, and like he's not really doing PulseChain kind of thing. And then like a day later, Richard Hart shows that message of a screenshot of some activity and things like that. So you could argue that maybe it keeps him on his toes, sort of thing.
I'll say something as well, is that I've seen a lot of coins that have shit tokenomics, and then they say, oh, well, we're going to build this other thing, and then that's going to do this thing. And then they're like, okay, well, now we're going to have this thing. I don't like this layering on bullshit to compensate for the stupidness of the original design.
Great point.
It seems like that's what's going on, and I've seen so much crap do that I'm just like, I see the community, and I see people are really hype about it, and Jack seems like a smart guy, but then also this is where I'm conflicted on it, is I've seen all these things do this exact same thing, and then they just die. And I'm kind of like, so I don't know, man. And
it's like you're building a house. It's like you're building a house on water. It's like you need solid fundamentals. And the problem is if you want to create a coin that gets adoption and isn't given out for free, you can't do it. It takes a long time. You have to innovate. You have to be creative. You have to work hard to like get community buy-in and things like that. And Levin didn't want to take the time to do that, so he gave it out for free. And I would argue that he'd be irrelevant if he didn't give it out for free. And I don't think he's the only. I think Hedron's the same thing. Like I don't think anyone would care if it wasn't that so many people minted for free. So I mean, you get a big community, but at the same time, you get bad pumpamentals. So.
Plus, I think he's somewhat of a snake as well.
Oh yeah, that goes.
He's a total snake. He's like I said, he's a very smart guy. He can play dumb all he wants on a lot of this stuff he says, but like I think he's pretty calculated in how he says, "Hey guys, I don't know, but Richard should have said that the SEC's I don't know if this is true, but Richard should have said the SEC's investigating him, and he should have said this." It's like it's just so uncalled for, and it's so manipulative, and it's kind of just like very snaky. It's like, and you're building crap to compensate for the, like, just like I said before too. It's like, that's a huge red flag to me. It's like, hey guys, don't worry. I'm going to have this reflection token that's going to burn and we're going to It's like, why not just design it better in the first place?
Because then no one would buy it, right? Like nobody would care.
But who knows it? And the thing is, I don't know enough to know enough. Maybe it works out because like, I don't know, but that's just my red flags with it.
Yeah, and you know what? I don't even blame him because it works. You have these big hexkins that are getting in spaces with him. That's giving him engagement. You have people in the comments section of his tweets, that's giving him engagement. Right now, we're even talking about it, which is why I don't even like talking about it. So you know what? I'm not even going to talk about it anymore because talking about it incentivizes him to keep doing this behavior. And we at Furu Finance do not reward bad behavior. So that's why I just call him a clown. But yeah, whatever. CryptoChino. Have you looked at the 100-year bull and bear market chart? Vanguard has one. Have a look and compare it with your BTC halving. I don't like looking at past charts for future performance. Usually, the one thing I really like is the Bitcoin halving chart because there's an explanation behind it, and it has been playing out like clockwork. But even that, I'm saying like a break of that pattern is inevitable, and I'm even a little bit reluctant on that. But yeah, I don't know. You could email me and I'll check it out. furufinance@gmail.com. Okay. Hex Gecko. Damn, you usually stream this late. What up? Late? It's 1:50 p.m. Eastern. Okay. See, I love you, but I have to keep to my word. I have to not talk about it, but I love you. I really do. So I'm sorry. But I'll read any other of your chats, and I appreciate you being a member so much and tuning in. Hex 647, do a 2-year, but try to time end the bull market. Okay, you watched it. It's great, Ted Lasso. That's the movie. Okay.
Oh, nice.
Hex Gecko says, my personal take is if you staking less than $1 million or maybe $500,000, you should probably start your ladder at least 2 years out. Fair? Okay. Why not do one to end in a year though? Right? Like, why not do one to end in 2 years? But yeah. Davis, I bought the 1.8 cent and 2.2 in hopes the news of launch has Hex go to 6.8, which I could get a quick 3x. What's your thoughts on that, Ben?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, could work out. I don't like to endorse trading, but I think sometimes it's good to scratch that itch if you have a lot of stakes, why not just like have a little fun if you can afford to, and like, I don't know.
The most important thing is that you have a ladder. And then if your liquid is, let's say, a small percentage of your broader, your ladder, then it's like, even if you get wrecked, who really cares? I mean, it's just whatever. It's negligible. But okay. Ted Cash. I'm not sure what you're referring to. Richard Hart, even only like 4K or so. Hex has so much room to grow. It's insane. I agree. Ted Cash. We'll get there one day. Tony Robbins was streaming last night at 15,000 views. Is it? Yeah, no. I think we could get fit. You think we could get 15,000 views one day? 15,000 concurrent.
Sure.
It's hard to imagine.
Yeah.
15,000. Hex Gecko. I like what you're saying, but I said I can't say it. So, oh, can't talk about that. It's okay, dude. No worries. Thanks, bro. And you're the man. Ted Cash. Never underestimate Richard Hart just because we don't get to see his support team. We can't comprehend what he is capable of. If I was that guy in the box, I won't cross his path. Most have tried and are now broken. What do you think, Ben?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, yeah, I saw Wise Token. I remember Wise Token. Trayvon was big on that too. So if you're new to this game, just know I love Trayvon. He got me into Hex, but just because he's all excited about something doesn't mean it's going to work out.
Yeah, usually it doesn't.
I don't know what to tell you. And
we got our syrup.
Like, some guy, I just got to bring this up, says you don't know enough, but you call him a snake. I mean, dude, I was listening to him on Trayvon's show like yesterday. I listened to him in the spaces.
Hey.
I've actually listened to quite a lot of this stuff. I don't know a ton about all the carnival game shenanigans of, hey, let's duct tape this on to make this better and duct tape this on to make this better. But I think I have a pretty good judge of character, and I've interacted with people before who, scammers, these kinds of things. I don't know. It just something rubs me the wrong way. And I think his behavior, how he's kind of, I don't know. Like I said, things I've heard him say just seem a little weird sometimes. It rubs me the wrong way, I guess. So like everyone's different. Like maybe he rubs you the right way. That's fine. I just have my own personal opinion. I don't know him personally at the end of the day. So.
True. Okay. And then CI says, I just like to mention thinks so. Nobody says later, why the F didn't they talk about option? I could have decided for myself if I participate or not. Now it's too late. I didn't take action. Okay. And Todd one says, yo, it's snowing like a mofo. Not in New York. Not
Look,
where I am.
if we miss out on something awesome, that's just a learning opportunity.
No, you also have to be willing to miss out on things, because if you're not willing to miss out, then you're going to spread yourself thin, or you're going to get suckered out of what you believe in and like what you're holding. Like, so like you have to be willing to see a pump and say, hey, I'm okay. I believe in what I'm in because I did the research. And if you can't do that, then you're not going to make it, especially if you don't have a lot of money. Like a lot of people that are, dabbling in like these various, like you mentioned with Cabana Crypto, calling it the carnival. Like a lot of people dabbling in all these like various projects are OGs. I don't really like that they're mentioning it because while for them it's just a game because they have a lot of money, so it's just like, hey, why not throw a couple thousand at it? Like it's not a big deal, but like for their followers, it is. And I think they should be more empathetic, I guess, and understand that at least say that it's just sort of like your intellectual curiosity. You don't actually think it's going to outperform Hex, but regardless, I think people have to understand, like, if you don't have a lot of money, and this actually, ironically enough, this is what Conrad Zen said, and now we know what he's doing. But if you don't have a lot of money, you cannot afford to diversify, and that's true. That's true, in my opinion. So, like, yeah, you see a lot of these people out there are shilling these things, but like, one of them who talks about Pulse Bitcoin, I spoke to him personally, and he's like, "Yeah, it's just like a tiny amount of my bag, and I don't think it's even close." But I'm just like, "Why not?" But for him, he has the luxury and the ability to do it. For me, I don't. So like, maybe if the roles were reversed, I would be doing the same thing. I'd just be dabbling in all this and all these things. But I don't know. That's just my opinion. But then CI saying listening to Trevon shenanigans doesn't mean you have to believe 100% of it. VCs invest in 10 and 9 fail, but the one that wins them the jackpot. I think that's kind of the deal. But again, VCs are not plebs. Like, they're not looking for the returns that somebody in crypto who doesn't have a lot of money is looking for. So if your returns are that of a venture capital firm, your performance is very good if you're 11% returns. Okay. Like, you have to understand where VCs are coming from is not where you're coming. I don't know about you, but it's not where I'm coming from. I'm looking for thousands of X returns. That's what crypto's about. It's about like getting from nowhere to somewhere. These VCs have tons of money being thrown at them to invest. And their investors would be extremely upset if they were investing in things like cryptocurrency. Like one particular small cap cryptocurrency, they want them diversifying. They want them getting 10, 11, 12% returns because that's a lot of money for them, and it compounds. But for somebody without a lot of money, you can't go into 10 projects and think that you're gonna really like take off. It's just unlikely. But what do you think about that, Ben?
Yeah, I mean, I think what you said is pretty spot on. And I mean, there's no shame in, like, I don't know, dabbling and stuff if you can afford it and you're just doing chill. It's different for us, like it's like, I'm not going to sit here and talk about like if I throw 100 into some like stupid meme coin or whatever. I don't know. I'm not going to sit here and promote it to people all day or whatever. Something that could be really risky. But yeah, I don't know. Like, this is kind of my method is I've consolidated my thing into like put your eggs in a few baskets and then watch them very closely. That's kind of how my shtick is. That's kind of what I've done, and I think that's a good winning method. But at the end of the day, it's crypto. Like, so many things can do well. Like, what am I going to do? Talk about every single thing under the sun?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean,
I personally, as a not rich person, I think it's a little bit. It's not so considerate of a lot of these people's audiences that they're just jumping from one to the next. Because I remember like coming in and like I would see this person talks about one coin, and then he just go to the next one, and the next one is like every day is a new coin, and it's like I'm jumping between coins, and I'm usually he's talking about it because it pumps. So like I usually miss out on the pump because I buy it when it's already pumped a lot, and then the coin that I was in originally, then it starts going, and then like I hop back, and you just don't make money. There are a lot of people that are even during the bull market, when everything's going up, they can't make money because they keep chasing pumps. So I think people need to be more considerate, unless you really believe, like if you really believe that this Pulse fill in the blank project has a chance of giving you like never work again money, like really believe it, like the way I believe Hex and PulseX do, you shouldn't be talking about it. This is not like people like to talk about crypto. Like I'm all for a free and open conversation. Like that's not how it works, dude. Like this is not a democracy. In the sense that this is an ecosystem riddled with scams and tokens that overwhelming majority of them don't make it. And we say we're not financial advisors, we don't give financial advice, but unfortunately, I wish this weren't the case. I wish people did their own research, but a lot of people rely on influencers, to do the due diligence that they're not doing. And by them even talking about it, often saying favorable things, it is maybe unintended endorsement. Like people take it for that. I should be putting my money in this, and I think that's very irresponsible. And I think that's not protecting your community. But what do you think about everything I just said?
Yeah, I think that's a good point. Like, I don't want to talk about something I don't fully know about. Um, you know, and like I was in the Telegram early with Zen. Like, I was pretty excited about it. Um, I think Jack Levin is extremely intelligent. Like, after I saw his first interviews with Richard and Hexkins, I thought this guy seems like a genius. Like, he seems super, super duper smart. But like the thing is that doesn't always translate to crypto. I think Richard has the proven track record, and I could be wrong. We could be wrong about Zen and all this stuff, but
Yeah,
he's super smart guy. But like I said, some of what he said has really rubbed me the wrong way, and how he said it, it's been a little weird to me. It's giving me a weird vibe. So
yeah, and smart people are wrong all the time, and
crypto's a
um,
whole crypto's like this whole weird thing. So I don't know. It seems like it's hard to know who can do good in it and not. And I was skeptical about Hex when I first got into it. Like I was like, this is weird. But then it did so well for me. Obviously, I'm biased because I did well in it. Then I love it way more than I did when I first got into it. And I was like, oh, this is weird. And then I just like did a bunch of other stuff for a while. So like, yeah, man, I don't know.
all right. Um, And CI says Conrad Zen has good advice when it comes to token. Oof. Yeah. Listen, that's another thing that was like it's a little bit hurtful that like he's telling everyone to buy Hex, as if and he was implying that it was going to $500. So at 50 cents, he's telling everyone to put in, $1,000 or whatever. And then the price goes down to 3 cents. And he's like, now buy my token. And you can't afford to diversify, meaning that don't buy Hex anymore. It's like, okay, so were you wrong then? Did you change your mind? Is Hex not as good as you said it was? Or is your coin better? It's going to outperform because you only have the money to buy one. So I don't like what he's doing. Unless he wants to make the case that his game theory is better than the T-shares, which I don't think he even would. He shouldn't be getting people to buy his stuff. But we don't have to talk about it. No more Zen. Whether it's Conrad Zen or the other guy Zen, uh, I'm a gatekeeper. I'm putting it on 200 on Coin Market Cap. Okay. um. Yeah. may think it's silly, but real-time strategy is so applicable to life and our mindset to win. Chad, yes, Furu Finance. Find winners and concentrate your money. Yeah, thank you. And CI says you aren't a pleb either, Furu. You can distinguish between good and bad projects. Thanks, bro. I appreciate it. And I appreciate you being a member as well. The sacrifice money isn't burned. It sits quietly while some African priests wallet. Let's hope it's used, recycled. Where do the SAC funds go? I don't know. We have no expectations, but are the SAC funds still there?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Okay, so he didn't even spend it. Interesting. Furu Finance and Ben Dubard don't give financial advice, but they do give strategic advice. Strategic non-financial advice. Yeah, you could get some. You could go to furufinance.com and book a free consultation. Just saying. But Hex Gecko, I love you, but I'm sorry. Can't read that one. Obviously, if you have an own project, your biases look at RH from 2019, totally different man. You're referring to that he was a Bitcoin maxi? Not sure.
Well, it's like Richard said, it's like he talked about Bitcoin, but then because Ethereum sucked and he used to savage Ethereum. And I've watched almost all of his old streams. So I kind of saw, a lot of what you're talking about. And then Ethereum didn't suck anymore. And he started warming up to Ethereum. So it's like, if you think something sucks, you're not going to talk about it. But then it proves itself to not suck. And you go, oh, okay.
Yeah. And like people say he has a bias to his own project, but he created his project and he created the way he created it because he thought it was the best. So now that he thinks that it's the best, I mean, after creating it, you know what I'm saying?
I think smart people behave strategically, especially founders of projects. And that's obvious, Richard Hart, the other guy, too. I know Furu doesn't want to mention him, so.
He who must not be named. CI. It's just funny, by the way, because their tokens have the same name. And the C guy, he probably came out with that. I remember he rushed it really quickly because he's like, I don't want him to steal my fire. And he kind of stole his fire. Like he thought he was gonna be that coin with that name, and then all of a sudden, this new guy just comes out of nowhere. And that's the one everyone's talking about, and no one's talking about his, but whatever. No, for he's blocking it. I don't think he's blocking non-hex maxis. He's blocking people that are shilling some things that he's not fond of. But like BitBoy Crypto is not blocked. He's not a hex maxi, and he doesn't follow me, and I'm an RH maxi. So,
who cares? Like who he follows or blocks? I don't really care at the end of the day.
Well, the people that are blocked and unfollowed they really care. They're making like a big thing out of it.
It's like freedom, right? Like you have the right to tweet about whatever you want, and then someone else has the right to either block you or unfollow you. And I don't see why there's like this weird. It's like I think people can do what they want, and like, but there's it's like I'm not going to be like I get to do what I want and go like slap someone and then get mad if they punch me in the face. It's like doesn't make sense. Not that that's a perfect analogy, but you get what I mean.
I agree.
It's like.
And everyone knows, like he says, like he's gonna unfollow you. So it was kind of par for the course, to be fair. Like
it's not like you can't make an if he blocks you, just make a second account on your phone, go on that account to see what he's saying. I don't. It's not the end of the world.
But then they can't get in the conversation. They can't get in the threads, and that's where it's happening. It's happening by him, and that goes to show because if anyone blocks him, he doesn't care. But everyone's okay. I love you. Wait, first he was a Bitcoin maxi, an open to ETH, and now only his own thing. Well, because he created it, he was a Bitcoin maxi until it sucked, and then ETH he liked because it had Hex, but like he wasn't like a maxi. But he was a Bitcoin until he realized that it was terrible, and then he created what was the best version of Bitcoin or whatever. You know, he created a coin that was better, and now he loves that coin because he created it. It wasn't like you know, there was that great coin out there and he liked it, but he just wanted to create his own coin. He created the coin because there was a need. There was a need, and he filled that need. That's why it has done so well, because there's a need. The problem is that a lot of people out there are creating these coins that are pretty much repeating the game theory that we've seen so many times with so many other coins, and they failed. And there's no need for them. There's no market. They're just doing it out of sort of like a narcissistic tendency where they want to be they want to be, you know, a Vitalik or a Richard Hart when they're just not that caliber. And I think the markets will humble them. But I think he's a maxi of his coins because he creates the best coins. Does that mean his coins will always be the best coins? Not necessarily. And they're certainly not always going to have the best gains just because, you know, diminishing returns and stuff. But yeah, I mean, that's really what it is. And how could you expect otherwise? Vitalik likes his coin the most. I mean, that's the way it works. Hex Gecko says, yeah. Did you want to say anything about it? Yeah.
Thing is, Richard talks about Bitcoin and ETH still. I think he talks about things that are bigger than his coin, which makes sense, you know.
Like he does. And he says very good things about Ethereum, and he says very good things about many other coins. Like he says very good things about Monero.
And in some ways, he's trying to get people from that community into his community because they're the bigger communities, I believe. Mm-hmm. That makes sense. And, you know, other people who've created coins recently are doing the same thing where they're talking about Hex because it's the community they want to get people from, which is just how it works. That makes perfect sense that you do that. It's a smart thing to do.
Yeah.
So, but people have the right to be upset that you're doing that as well. It's like,
and also
freedom is.
It's about what you think. And I really believe Hex is still the best. And I'd argue that, like, if it weren't, I would hope that I have the courage to pivot and go against even what my audience says for the greater good. I just don't think that's the case right now. Fair, CI. Okay. We hug it out. Please. I love you, bro. I love you too, man. We are different investment thesis. I appreciate your perspective. I have been here before as Hex Bear. Thank you, bro. And awesome. Ted Cash. We've been streaming for 2 hours and 2 minutes and 45 seconds. So if you guys have been here this whole time, you owe me a like and subscribe. Okay. I don't want to hear it, man. You owe me the like and subscribe. And then go to furufinance.com. and book your one-on-one for 10 minutes. And hopefully your free one-on-one and hopefully become Patreon. But even if you just want to book a free one-on-one and you want to talk, that's cool. Like, my time's not that valuable yet. So don't feel guilty if you don't want to buy anything. Actually feel guilty. No, I just say the optics matter. People wondering why he's doing it, but maybe it's part of the successful outreach marketing. Yeah, you know what? I actually spoke about the outreach marketing. On TikTok, there are RH videos that are getting hundreds of thousands of views, and they would not be getting it without those very, like, the Louis Vuitton and the Gucci, Prada, or whatever.
I don't know if that's me or you.
Hello?
Okay, I hear you now.
Okay, good.
That's weird.
There are people getting he's getting hundreds of thousands of views on his videos on TikTok. TikTok's very trendy, and I don't think that would not be happening in the cargo shorts and the t-shirts that he was wearing originally. It was just lame. I think it's a lot cooler what he's doing with this clothing. It's really catching people's attentions. It is getting millions of views on TikTok, and that reminds me that you too should be joining the TikTok and YouTube Shorts group if you haven't. I'm actually going to put the link over here.
Nice.
The Hex TikTok and YouTube Shorts chat. Even if you're not a TikToker or a YouTube shorter, you should be in the chat. You should be giving support to those that are doing the onboarding work. But Pete Swag says, dude, during a bear market, we lose influencers as well. Jim Rat, still KSB, all those guys have weak hands. Okay. Both of you are the new breed Hexkins. Thank you. And Pete, you're a true blood. Okay. I think it's healthy to look around if the world changed and like, I'm not going to talk about that. I have no TikTok for me, but thank you. Hey, you should still be in the chat. And when Richard Hart got kicked out of that Twitter space with Elon, Elon said, no, Kim.com was joking when he said that. Like, he didn't actually say that. That was a joke, right?
Yeah, that was a joke.
You guys think Elon actually knew who Richard Hart was? Like, Richard Hart's not that big yet. And that's why I keep saying that it's important that we promote him with TikToks and shorts. Like, Elon Musk, his time is too valuable to be watching people outrage market. And that's why I like TikTok and YouTube shorts. And that's why I said he should buy CoinDesk, because that would make him big. And that is the perfect demographic for onboarding. So if he wants to cement his legacy and achieve mainstream adoption with his projects, CoinDesk is the best way to go for him if he could afford it. But yeah, the museum would just be foolish. Like, it's like no one's going to that museum except for Hexkins. It would be a circle jerk. But what do you think about Richard Hart buying CoinDesk?
That'd be cool. I don't see it happening. Yeah.
Why not? It's for sale.
Yeah, because there's all these politics involved in this kind of stuff. I don't think they'd sell it to him, even if he did have the money,
That could be, but I hope he tries. I know Hoskinson expressed interest in buying it, and that would be very bullish for Cardano. He even made a video. He made a video on YouTube titled, like, should I buy CoinDesk? And then he says, well, I disagree. Hex is perfect on every metric. Richard Hart says the only miracle of Hex is that it wasn't created earlier. That's the miracle. Yet all those guys, come on, man, F those guys. I agree, it's perfect. So you think Kim kicked him out for no reason? Not no reason. They basically each had their own thing that they wanted.
Well, I was in the space when this happened, and Kim was like, hey, I had to kick speakers down because too many speakers, like Twitter space is so glitchy. He was like, too many speakers can make it glitch up. It's not like he just kicked Richard off. He kicked like multiple people off. So
there you go.
I don't read too much into it. I don't think they would have had him there in the first place if they didn't think, if they were like, it doesn't make much sense. Like they said, like, they kicked a lot of people off because if you have too many speakers on Twitter spaces, it glitches up really bad. And if Elon joins your space, you don't want it to just like disappear, so
there you go.
I don't really read too much into it.
Yeah. I mean, also Kim was a jerk about it. But here's the thing. I had a theory to why he was kicked off. And I think it is because he takes over. He takes over the conversation. I mean, that's just how it is. And for better or for worse. And obviously, being that it wasn't his Twitter space, I think a big reason why he takes over is because he's very, very intelligent. Has more, maybe better insight than everyone else. Everybody wants to listen to him. Everybody engages with him. But if you're Kim.com and you have Elon Musk is a juggernaut, dude. Elon Musk is probably the most famous person in the world. If not top 5, top 3. I mean, he's probably the top 3 biggest people in the world. And you get him on your space. And obviously they had a request, like Kim.com wanted Julian Assange must advocate for Assange, and Mario Naufal had something else he wanted out of him. Like, it was their space, and they got him on that space. It's like, yeah, I want him all to myself. I almost don't blame them for kicking Richard Hart off. And if I were Richard Hart, I'd kick Kim.com off.
Elon, I mean, I think Richard would have just come right out the gate and just like insulted Elon, honestly. I think he actually said what he would have said. I mean, I could just see me like, "Hey, Elon."
No, I really don't think he would. I really don't think he would. But I think they would. I think he would take over.
He said what he was going to ask in his own Twitter space later, but I can't remember what it was.
I really think he likes Elon. I don't think he would have done that. And you know what? Nothing would have been any different. He would not have been more famous because he would have been on for an extra 10 minutes and engaged with Elon. That's just think about all the other people in the space that got to talk to Elon. Do you remember them? You don't remember them. And for that same reason, you wouldn't remember Richard. The only reason why it's so significant for you is because you're a Hexagon. So people are making a bigger deal out of what happened than it really is.
I think it's kind of one of those things where like people are like, oh, Elon and Richard will talk and it's going to pump price. It's like when all these coins are like, we're gonna have a billboard in Times Square, and everyone's like, oh, and the coin is still like 100,000 market cap, 200,000 market cap. You're like, why isn't the meme coin pumping? It's one of those things. You're like, oh, this is going to pump price. And it's like, well, actually, all that matters is people buying and not selling.
Yep.
As Richard Hart explains plenty of times.
Yep. It would have not made any meaningful impact on Richard Hart's legacy, whether he would have engaged with Elon, him and 10 other people, or he didn't. Like, whether or not he engaged with Elon, it would not have made a difference to his legacy.
Would have been cool for sure, but yeah,
would have been cool.
Really freak out.
You guys think it would be like, oh, they talked in a Twitter space and then like they exchanged numbers and now like they're texting each other. It's like we're gonna have. It's like, no, bro.
Tesla's rebranded to Hexla.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. And honestly, it's like nobody is gonna make Hex what we want it to be but us. That's what you have to understand. Like, there's no middleman, bro. You're on your own. You have something that's so good and so revolutionary. It's going to be gatekept, and losers complain, winners get it done. We're winners. We're going to get it done. Okay. I don't care. Fuck Elon Musk. Okay. Don't delete my Twitter. Fuck Kim.com and now fall on those people. Okay. We'll get it done. Yeah. Yeah. We don't need any middleman D. We don't need middleman D. And Ted Cash says, actually, this has been the most engaging live stream thus far. Thank you. It's because you guys are engaging. Chat is talking. I engage with the chat, especially when it's a super chat. But I love you guys, man. Museum can wait, but Richard Hart is cut out again.
Is Furu cutting out for you guys too, or is it only me? Because it's happened like 3 times, so I'm just wondering.
Am I still cut out?
I can hear you now.
Awesome. Museum. I hope my audio isn't as bad as it was yesterday, or else I'm going to have to do something.
It sounds clear when you're talking. Only me. Okay, so CI says you're only cutting out for me. That's weird.
Museum can wait, but RH is the boss. His priorities. Yeah, true. That's the thing that people have to understand. Like, nothing they say is going to do anything. He will do what he does. Focus on what you can control.
All right.
Are you squeezed for time, dude? We've been streaming for 2 hours, 13 minutes.
I'm good. Chilling. I got my 7 p.m. stream on my channel tonight.
You're welcome baby.
Welcome to hop in, and anyone else can come watch.
I might have to.
Nice. It'd be fun. It should be fun.
Are you guys subscribed to Ben Dubard's channel?
Yeah.
Are you guys going to bendubard.com?
Yeah.
There's Kim.com and then there's Ben.com.
That's right. People saying this is the best stream yet, man.
Oh, wow. It's because Ben's here.
Yeah.
Am I not enough, guys? Okay.
I honestly feel kind of bad because I don't like savaging or like insulting other people. But so I apologize to anyone I may have upset.
We love you guys. I don't drink soda, but when I was last in Atlanta, I visited the Coca-Cola Museum, and that was a lot of fun. You never know. Have you been to the Coca-Cola Museum, Ben?
When I was little, and it was awesome because they have like all these different kinds of Coca-Colas you can try at the end. Like they have all these different flavors, and they have like the flavors from like Japan and China and stuff. Pretty cool.
Well, I don't even drink Coke anymore, man.
I drink Coke Zero.
And just a quick reminder, guys, to go to furufinance.com and book your free one-on-one today and become a patron. But that would be cool too. But furufinance.com. You could read my story. This is my story. I give you my story. Yeah, now you want to go. Now you want to go, huh? I've been plugging too much for finance.com. It's about time we get bendubar.com. And oh no, that's no.
That's right. So Furu do his one-on-ones. He's a great guy, but I've helped people do security stuff one-on-one. Which mainly the main thing I get is people need they have a hardware wallet and they think it's connected to their MetaMask, but they can still do transactions on their MetaMask without approving it on the hardware wallet, and they don't know why. So you can know why. I mean, what's happening is you need to have a dummy. It's kind of confusing, but my video.
That's why you got a book.
Yeah, just book a session with me or DM me. Maybe I can help you through DM, but if not, you can get a one-on-one with me. And I have reviews on my homepage too. I'm trying to figure out the formatting of my website. I might put the reviews first. I mean, what do you think?
Maybe you want to put a review tab. I think it's most important.
Testimonials. I think I'm going to get some
video
testimonials soon.
So the thing is that when people get to your site, you want to have them know that the product's there. Right. I don't know. You know what? Your website's like 1,000 times better than mine.
Oh, but thanks. It was a pain in the butt. I had like 2 different people kind of work on it.
Nice. No, it's good.
Thanks. Oh, thanks, man. Yeah. Then I might change the contact. I have like Discord. I might change it to like I don't know, like a form. People like put in their name and email. I don't know.
There you go. bendubar.com.
Yeah. So if you ever need help with something or you're confused, mainly I work like maybe your mom or your grandpa or anyone watching, they need help. They want someone to hold their hand when they do something in crypto. That's kind of what I've helped people with. So I'm very patient.
Hold your hand.
People, that's what my clients tell me. They're like, I just need someone to hold my hand and help me do this so I know I'm not doing something wrong. And I'm like, okay. So it's like, yeah. So that's what I do.
There you go. Ted Cash says Furu is okay. Oh, thanks, man. This is your best stream yet.
I think you meant your audio.
Oh,
yeah,
awesome.
Yeah, you're more than okay, man. You're great.
Oh,
awesome.
Yes, Ben Dubard. Of course, Ben Dubard is the man. I agree. Refreshing, controversial discussions are always juicy. Yes, they are. Couldn't find when I last.
My free guide. Yeah,
you couldn't.
It's join my Discord, or is he talking about you?
I don't know, but we'll just do both. Is it on the website? Your book?
No, it's. I need to add it. It's in the Discord. Starting March 1st, I'm going to start charging for it. But if in any of my YouTube videos, it's the first link in the description of my latest YouTube video and others. You just plug in your email, and then I'll send it to you. Or you can join the Discord, and I have it. You can download it in the Discord, like I have it posted in the Discord. So
there you go. Where's the Hex, huh? I only see Bitcoin and Zcat.
I know. That? I didn't make it. It's just
Ripple, Cardano. Okay.
There's Dogecoin on the other page. One of the other pages like Dogecoin. Maybe it's that one. Yeah, there it is on the far left. You see
Oh, there you
Dogecoin.
go.
And then
Well,
I need to. It's gonna add a video there, but I don't think I want to anymore. I don't know.
So actually, on my Facebook, guys, can you guys like all my Facebook posts? Okay, because like I got nothing, but I got Dogecoin. Oh yeah, I literally copied. I literally copied your educator thing. I'm sorry.
No, that's fine. I think it's a good title.
Yeah, shout out to you. But we got Doge there, guys. Just like all my stuff, okay? I get no engagement on Facebook. I want some engagement on Facebook, okay?
You know, I'm gonna just post the link for the course in the chat if that's okay. I don't know why I'm telling this guy, oh, go to this video and go to I'll just post it here.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, go get that MailChimp. And go like all my posts on Facebook. Okay, you want to be a patron? Be a Facebooker.
Nice. Yeah, I don't have a Facebook page, so it looks good though. So how did you do your YouTube banner? Because I have trouble formatting a YouTube banner because like the sizing is so weird.
Yeah, I had to keep on resizing it until I got it right. And also it looks terrible on desktop. Like it looks good on mobile and it looks good on Facebook. I'll show you. I didn't even size it right because you see it doesn't go across.
I can't see it. I think we're stuck on the other tab.
Oh, whoops.
Stuck on Facebook.
Oh, okay.
Are you talking about Facebook or YouTube?
Yeah, I'm sorry. No, YouTube.
Hey, there we are.
There we go. Yeah, look at this. It doesn't go across the thing. But like it said, this is the measurement, so it looks good on mobile. It looks terrible on desktop. I don't think you could get one that unless
good. It still looks good on this.
No, the way to do it would be to get it all the way to here, but all the information, like me and this, it would be
yeah.
But whatever.
Yeah, it's annoying how weird the YouTube banner thing is. It's really annoying. But
I want to see more likes on Facebook. All right. That's it for my Facebook. And the reason why I made a Facebook was I want to run some Facebook ads. Someone told me those are good, so I'm paying $3 a day. But we'll see how that goes. Yeah, nice. That's good for onboarding. So, but yeah, so I guess that is it for 2 hours and 22 minutes of streaming. That is crazy. Great stuff, guys. And then we're on tonight also at 7 p.m.
That's right. My channel. Come check us out. It's going to be fun.
But yeah, are there any closing thoughts?
Me?
Yeah.
Not really. I mean, thanks everyone for tuning in. And yeah, thank you, CI. Thank you, Pete Swag. I see you guys in the chat. Thank you, Ted Cash. Of course, I see you all the time. Chad Donnerschwans. He's a real Chad. And, yeah, so subscribe to my channel if you aren't. Check me out tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern. I think Furu is going to be coming by as well. So it should be fun.
Thank you guys for watching, and thank you to my patrons. And I will see you guys tomorrow at 12 p.m. Eastern time.
Shout out to Stefan.
Rest of your
in the
day.
chat.
Yes, shout out to Stefan.